Welcome back to a new episode. How you guys doing? Today I want to talk a little bit about Lucid and kind of give you guys my thoughts on Lucid, what I think about Lucid, what I think about once Lucid did their presentation, I went through it. I loved the presentation. I think they did a beautiful job, and I really do want to say a huge congratulations to Lucid for their approach on all this and the way that they are approaching their business, unlike some other people, which will be another video. So let's talk about Lucid a little bit. One of the awesome things about seeing the Lucid Air is the fact that here's another company that I believe has a great chance to really be on the market today, and on the market as far as, as a product that makes sense, much like how Tesla is. I would love to see Lucid also get to that same point. Now, of course, Lucid did do the presentation, and in my opinion, they did a wonderful presentation. I have seen a lot of people comment on the fact that, there's so many similarities of how they presented their car, how their website is. In overall, there's a lot of similarities to Tesla. And I would say that's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing. By the way, guys, the lighting is not that great. As you may know, there's a lot of places right now that are getting a lot of that smog. I wanted to record outside today. I continuously record for you guys inside, so I kind of wanted to do something outside. So that's why I'm out here. With that note, I would also like to say to all of my fellow Tesla owners, EV owners in down, the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, I hope everybody's staying safe, and I wish you all the best. I'm truly sorry to see everything that's happening there. So let's get back to what's been going on with Lucid. Of course, people talked about the price when it came to Lucid. It's a much more expensive car, but it's really not that expensive for what they are going to be delivering. Ultimately, this is a luxury car, and that's what they're going for, the luxury market. So $160,000 is not the end of the world. I think it's gonna have a market regardless of the price, and this is really good for us because we get to see exactly what Elon wanted. We get to see more cars on the road, and we will. I believe it's spring of next year of 2021 is when they're going to be starting to do deliveries. I talked before about some of the other upcoming companies that are working on EV cars. I think Lucid is the closest thing to Tesla that we're going to get. Obviously, there's a lot of other companies. Ford is coming up with their Mach-E, and the Jaguar I-Pace is already out, and there's tons of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to these electric cars, I think when it comes to EVs, you need to have a certain standard, and Lucid Air kind of brings that to us as a consumer. Again, I'm not worried about the price. I think they easily have a market for that price. It's just a question of, can they keep their promise on what they have told us so far. As far as range goes, the top of the line range, it's one of those weird things where I would love to see first the actual car on the road. I would love to see the consumers. I would love to see real world numbers. I think making claims is one of those things I would stay away from for any company out there. If you're going to build a car, don't make any claims. Rather, show us when the car is out, because claims are just claims. And at this point, I've seen a lot of people kind of talk about can they really achieve this? I really hope that they achieve this. I really hope that they create what they want to create. I hope Lucid will be very successful. With that said, it's not for everybody. Me personally, I am a Tesla, but I'm not a Tesla guy. I'm not saying that I wouldn't necessarily take the car out. I wouldn't try it out. I think it's got a beautiful interior. The styling, the quality, as far as what they say is going to be there, I think it's going to be there. And I think that also is reflected in the price. And yes, I understand Teslas don't necessarily have the best quality interiors, but I think there's more to every car than just the interior, the exterior, the design. I think it's what's behind the company that really matters. And I think all of us should be focused on the companies that really put their heart and soul into creating something unique, but at the same time creating something that is considered to be that gold standard. Currently, Tesla is the gold standard. Everybody follows Tesla, and people talk about how these guys are copying Tesla. That's completely normal. Tesla is the first company out there that created this car and created these EVs that are just amazing. They're magical. So when you take any company that's up and coming or really trying to compete in that market, or even just not necessarily compete but come out with something in that market, I think that's what's going to happen. You are going to take it's much like, again, going back to Apple, and I hate doing these comparisons, but everybody started copying Apple. Everybody started doing what Apple was doing. I mean, down to the boxing of the items. And this is what's going to happen with every EV coming out that is, especially who are taking things seriously. They're going to follow the gold standard, which at this point in time is Tesla. And so I don't have a problem with Lucid at all talking about talking the way that Tesla would, or creating something that Tesla would, or even copying a lot of things that Tesla does. I think that's perfectly normal for any business to do. As far as the charging goes, as far as what their speed is, vehicle to vehicle to grid, that's great. I think they have something that they learned from Tesla themselves, not only due to the history of the CEO, but rather they learned something that Tesla has done. They try to implement something new on top of that. So Tesla's already been out for a while, and so they kind of saw what Tesla, all the things that Tesla was working on. Lucid came along and really learned from what Tesla may have made a mistake in, or they were trying to learn something in, and implemented the new things. Now, my favorite things about the Lucid Air has got to be the headlights. By far, it's a really, really smart way of doing headlights. I was very impressed with the headlights. I was not totally impressed with the windshield, to be honest. I think having a massive windshield, there's issues that come with that. Windshields are the most susceptible to rock chips, and if you are the kind of person like myself where you do drive the car, frankly, I've owned my car for 2 years. I drive on a highway, I take road trips, and because of that, I am susceptible to getting rock chips. And in fact, my windshield has been replaced once, and currently I have 2 little rock chips on there, but no cause for concern. So having a windshield that is unique or bigger, it just takes that same price and then kind of makes it bigger for the consumer if something was to happen. And yes, the insurance will cover it, but there's only so much that you're gonna be able to do a lot of, with these specialty windows. But with that said, I absolutely do love how it looks. And so again, a huge congratulations to Lucid. I think they will be successful. I really believe that. I think they are going down the right path. I really would have loved to see Lucid, try and make a deal with Tesla, at least for the charging network. Like with all EVs, that is my number one concern for the consumer, and that is having the charging network. Tesla by far has, a huge step on everybody with regards to the charging network. And speed of the charging, I've said it 1,000 times, and for somebody who's got 70,000 kilometers in 2 years on this car and taking road trips, speed of the charging for me is not as important as having chargers where I need them. And so this is going to be one of those things. I really do wish Lucid would have made an attempt, assuming they didn't, to try and team up with Tesla for allowing Tesla to use their superchargers for Lucid. I think that would have made a great partnership. I think that would have done a lot more for this car. With that said, I know they've teamed up with Electrify America. That's wonderful. I think, and I believe Electrify Canada. If I still haven't seen any of those chargers here, but when it comes down to it, I think the bottom line is Lucid will succeed. I truly believe that. For those people out there who do want something other than a Tesla, I think this is going to be the next best option. Of course, all of this is just conjecture because I don't know. I haven't had a chance to obviously take the car out and drive it, but when the cars do come available, I will definitely go down that path because I want to see what these cars are capable of doing. As for the 0 to 60, the quarter mile, frankly, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the 0 to 60, and a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the quarter mile. It's absolutely irrelevant in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense because you're never going to use that crazy acceleration, and you're never going to use the quarter mile acceleration. You're never going to use the top speed of the car. It is simply put illegal. And for a lot of you who are thinking, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I mean, if you're at the light and you take off fast, that could be considered dangerous driving or reckless driving. So a lot of people who don't know that, I just got free advice. And so when people are talking about, you know, it can go from 0 to 60 and this and this and this, it doesn't matter to. Frankly, I would rather take the slower car and have a, you know, longer range. Now, I am fully aware that this is coming from a guy with a P100D, with a 100D, not a P100D. But yes, even the Model S's are ridiculously strong and fast and so forth and so on, but I rarely ever use it. And it was one of my reasons for not getting the P100D and just going with the 100D. It got me the longest range, and that made more sense. Okay, so with that said, let me know what you guys think about the Lucid Air. I think it's an amazing car. I think they have a wonderful future ahead of them if they continue down the same path. I think they have a really good backbone, and like I said, with a lot of companies, having a strong backbone is extremely important. And I think they have a good team behind them to do what they got to do. So with that said, I congratulate Lucid very, very much. I really do think they did so far a wonderful job. I'm looking forward to their cars, and that's it. So have yourselves a wonderful day. And again, for all of you guys down the West Coast, you know, with these fires that are happening and the smog and the air quality, please everyone, take care of yourselves. Stay indoors if you don't have to go outdoors. I'm in Vancouver. A lot of that smoke is coming up to us actually, but it's not the end of the world. It's still doable. And so it's awesome. In fact, I'm going to be making a video right after this, which should be coming out tomorrow. It's a short video, and that's going to have to do with one of the cool things about the Teslas, and that has to do with the biohazard mode. So I look forward to tomorrow's video for that. Bye-bye.